these tournaments, make these side events possible. But we are going to start off with Montclair Red versus Montclair White. Ardot on your right is going to be the starter for Montclair White, I believe. And then on the left side, I'm not too certain who that is. I believe they are part of Montclair Red.
All right, I think we're about to get the name tags in just a second.
Yeah. Very, very soon. But going in with the Joker versus Ardot's very formidable King K. Rule. We got Miku Beam. Goated name.
Alrighty. Now, King K. Rule is not a character that you always see, especially like you would hear King K. Rule with Heavy Hitter. However, we're going to see a lot of his neutral surrounding the crown. It's an awesome combo starter. It's a way for him to get a lot of big damage, especially against a light character such as Joker. It's going to be an awesome matchup. I am so hyped, Jellyfish.
No, me too. And like you mentioned before, Crown, such a strong tool. Oh, gets the up
There's
smash.
The up smash out of the crown, just like I was talking about. Those amazing combo starters going to finish it off with a little jig like that. Showing his dominance right now. Ardot is here to win.
Yeah, and that also eliminates Arsene immediately off of Miku Beam, which is such a strong tool for Joker, not only to be able to kill, but also condition his opponent to play a little bit more safer. With Arsene out, you're going to be a little bit more scared. There's Makar on the counter. You also have the Reflector, so it's a 2-in-1 combo. So Ardot's got to be a little more careful with the way that he's playing. Right now, doing so well edge guarding, gets the blunderbuss suck in to send Miku Beam off stage once again, going for the same setup once again. Does he have any crown setups? No, goes for a forward air. And right now trying to come back on the stage. That armor, I was going to mention before, going to play such a big role at, you know, being able to dictate the pace of this match.
I think especially with the way that Ardot is positioning Miku Beam off stage, using the cannon, using the vacuum in order to send him exactly where he wants to, into the crown as well. Such an awesome follow-up. However, right now both players playing in neutral, Miku Beam finding that and being able to jump over the crown, taking their first stock of this game.
Understood frame data, understood that he could get that second backer off, and finally takes off that first stock off of Ardot, but 96%, you got to be a little bit more careful. Arsene's not even nowhere near getting close to being fulfilled. There it is now.
Ardot sending Miku Beam off stage yet again. Miku Beam knowing to stand and shield while the cannon is out. Following up, making some good damage here, waiting until the end lag ended of the air dodge, being able to capitalize on this.
Missing the up there, but this allows Miku Beam to send Ardot once again off stage, coming back with that up B. Oh, and goes too deep for the recovery, for the edge guard even, misses the tether, but gonna come back with the dash attack, trying to get these downward aerial guns, gets the hit off the blunderbuss to get Arsene back, but you tack on a lot of damage as well. So I mean, Pearl, if you're Miku Beam, what do? Do you stay on stage and try to play this a little bit more safe, or do you try and go in for the offensive?
All right, now, if I were Miku Beam, I would be trying to take Ardot off stage right now, especially when he is at his weakest with such a linear recovery, such as, like, K-Rule's up B. It's going to be so easy to capitalize on that, especially if I'm a character with good mobility like that. Taking a stock right there with the fair off stage. Great stuff from Miku Beam. However, percentages are not even quite yet. Following up with some damage here.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that K-Rule is a heavy character, super heavy character as well. So even at like 100%, he's going to be at 0. And Miku Beam is going to be at 0 stocks as Ardot takes the lead for Montclair Red. My fault for calling Montclair White. I thought it was opposite, but nonetheless, very strong start for Montclair Red, Pearl.
Very strong start, but also I think we saw some really good stuff from Miku Beam as well. Being in disadvantage as a light character versus such a heavy character is not an easy thing to do, because not only do you have so much more damage to make up before you can get the stock, there's also, it's so easy for a character to get like K-Rule, like pretty easy, like 2 combo, does 60%, and then is able to take you on the next stock. However, we saw Miku Beam finding these openings for themselves, unfortunately not being able to take the game, but both players playing so patiently. I do think that this Montclair team is going to be quite a formidable opponent.
Yeah. I mean, that second stock was unfortunate. What Miku Beam tried to do is he tried to Z-drop the crown to cover Ardot's recovery, but he misplaced the crown, but also he was way too far off, didn't have a jump, wasn't really aware of what tools he had to come back, and unfortunately died for it. But we got Catway, and I believe that is a Ken that is going to play against Ardot.
All right, now this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Both very heavy-hitting characters, not only a fighting game character, but also a super heavy. I think that King K. Rool might have a few more options with regards to camping, especially because he has the crown and cannonball in order to set the pace of the game that he wants. So it's going to be interesting to see how Catway uses Ken in, especially I think, frankly, an aggressive manner in order to take as much damage, as many stocks as he can.
Yeah, I think he's going to utilize potentially focus attack a lot because King K. Rool doesn't have a lot of multi-hit moves. He can't necessarily get... Oh, Catway can get away with going for these focus attacks, especially on the cannonball or even the crown for that matter. And going in with that nair, getting a lot of damage off the up tilt, getting the hook kick as well. Ardot kind of struggling to answer back right now as he gets completely outpaced by Catway.
Completely outpaced, put off stage. Unfortunately, there is nowhere else for him to go, except he's going to get hit immediately. Nearly a 0 to death right now.
Amazing stuff from Catway. I mean, off the rip, consistent pressure against Ardot, who doesn't have a lot of out of shield options as King K. Rool. And I think Catway, knowing that very well, knowing that Ardot was most likely going to run back and try and camp, was just going to try and play super aggressive.
If you noticed, I think Catway especially was a very efficient player in that matchup, even though Ardot did what he knew would be the best thing in that scenario, which was going back to set up his crown, set up cannonball. Unfortunately, he wasn't given a chance because Catway knew when to wait and then knew when to punish. And man, what a 0 to death. Amazing stuff.
And that's the story for a lot of zoners, right? Against characters like the Shotos, like Ryu and Ken, where if they run back, they are most likely 90% guaranteed to throw out a projectile. And so if you know your character has a move like Nair to be able to beat it out and then just follow up with like an up tilt, a down tilt, something to outrange your opponent, then, you know, it's just a free 60%. And characters like zoners tend to be pretty light. King K. Rool not light at all, but very, very good stuff from Catway. We're going to see the Ice Climbers of Diamond come out for Montclair Red.
All right, now this is going to be such an interesting matchup to see. I think, so not only do the characters such as Ice Climber have awesome camping potential, their kill potential as well, especially when working in tandem. Going to be wonderful to see versus a Shoto such as Ken.
And Diamond is, I wouldn't say an orthodox Ice Climbers. He doesn't go for a lot of these desyncs. He goes for what he knows is true, what he knows he can hit. He doesn't go for some crazy combos. He's very much a bread and butter kind of Ice Climbers, which is very nice to see. A very nice change of pace for that matter. Focus attack getting punished by those icicles. And a blitz wall trying to stop Catway's approach, but to no avail.
Trying to stop Catway's approach. However, when you are faced 2 against 1, even a Shoto such as Ken is going to struggle, as you can see there with that amazing stock from Diamond.
Yeah, simplicity at its finest, Diamond, really. Oh, trying to go for the shield break, doesn't get it. Catway would have loved that stock if he got it. But on FD as well, both these characters really like the stage, right, Pearl?
Yes, absolutely. I think this is a wonderful stage for both of these characters. Now, if you notice during that, it's always a very bad idea to shield versus a Shoto, especially when you're in disadvantage like that, because they will be going for the shield break. However, that was just a testament to Diamond's timing and spacing, knowing exactly when to parry that move. Great stuff.
Yeah. It also comes to experience of playing against these guys. Again, both teams from Montclair. Forward air being able to cancel into the jab 1-2 just to send Catway off stage, trying to bait out a potential option. Gets the spot dodge read with the pivot up tilt into the up smash. Really good stuff from Diamond to take this into a 2-stock lead going into potentially this next game.
Really good stuff. And if you notice, whenever Catway is off stage, Diamond is utilizing icicles in order to send him in exactly where they want, in order to get punishes just like that. They are in his head right now, reading his character. Going to take the first character like that, I believe. I can't tell which one of the siblings that was.
Yeah.
But we have the solo and not going to take that stock quite yet, even though 120% Still, however, Diamond taking as much damage as he can right now, sending icicles off stage in order to put Catway exactly where he wants him.
Yeah, Diamond is a Sopo connoisseur, so this is actually something that a lot of people... Jeez!
Well, okay.
What an option coming out from Diamond, and what a 3-stock to go into the next match. But yeah, Diamond Sopo is really, really good. I don't think I've seen anybody so well-versed in playing Sopo like Diamond. Like, even Big D for that matter. I don't think he even matches up to the way that Diamond plays. And that kind of comes down to, like I mentioned before, right? That kind of simplistic gameplay that Diamond plays.
Simplistic yet so effective.
Yeah.
I think especially against a character like Ken who needs to get in order to get those kills. Diamond able to keep him off stage when he needs him and then able to go for those such efficient punishes. Great stuff. I'm honestly so hyped.
Yeah, and I really wonder who Montclair White sends out next because, I mean, Diamond's Sopo went crazy. Diamond's Ice Climbers went crazy in general. Just had Catway in the corner for the majority of the match. Didn't let him get stage control whatsoever. Even on a stage like FD, which is kind of crazy to say. But we get Chief Beef coming in. I believe that might be a Steve, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we're about to find out.
Right after this break. No.
Huh.
Is this? He's going to go Lucas.
All
Okay.
right.
So how do you feel about this matchup? Again, not a matchup you see very often, but definitely interesting to see your input.
Not a matchup you see very often. However, Lucas has potential as a floaty character, I think, to do so much damage versus a character like Ice Climbers. Really combo heavy. All right.
Yeah, but also Ice Climbers, I feel like, tend to struggle against zoner characters, especially like Lucas, where PK Fire is just so volatile against Diamond. But clearly,
Wow.
It doesn't matter when you can't get it. Gets the forward air spike. And Diamond on quite the roll against Montclair White right now.
On such a roll, finding the... Wow, look at this damage on insane things we're seeing today from Diamond.
Yeah, up to up air is just such a good combo. Able to desync with the jab and dash attack. Nana going out to do a little bit of damage. The belay, not going to be able to kill, but just extra damage once again. Do you have a jump? Yes, you do, but can you draw a circle?
Oh,
Well,
what an awesome catch. And I think he's dead for that. Yeah. That's the stock right there. Yet another stock for Diamond. Continuing this Montclair red lead. Absolutely, like, showing his prowess as this character.
ooh,
What
going
a
up
set.
high for that
What a
recovery.
wonderful...
All right, Diamond looking very primed, taking another 3-stock potentially against Chief Beef, who hasn't really been able to show off Lucas's amazing range or even combo potential with the snake, but gets hit with another up tilt. Diamond just coming back on the stage and finding these hits as well. Oh, the F smash.
I do think Diamond is doing a very good job at placing his characters exactly where he wants them to follow up for the damage versus Chief Beef. Chief Beef does a little, Diamond does a lot more to take back the advantage.
And the high Squall Hammer to be able to come back, mixing up his recoveries, goes up high for the PK Thunder, and unable to make the most out of it. But Diamond finally chasing Chief Beef down, gets the up smash, and another 3-stock on the board for Diamond.
Oh my goodness, I don't think we've seen a carry like this in quite some time, honestly. This is going to be a wonderful, crazy crew battle, if I'm being quite honest. Diamond right now showing his true colors as the MVP of the red team from Montclair.
And showing potentially a skill gap. Now, no discredit to Montclair White at all, but Diamond showing that he's definitely a little bit tougher than I think Montclair White could have anticipated. But next player has a lot of work. Not only does he have to knock out Diamond, he has to take off another 3 stocks potentially to allow Montclair White to come back.
That's quite an... that's a big ask.
Yes.
Definitely big shoes to fill. However, I think we're going to see a pretty good fight regardless.
Ice Sponge coming out. We
All
got
right,
Aura
Aura
Master.
Master.
Donkey Kong. Yeah, so Aura Master not only has a Donkey Kong, but also has a Lucario. And I don't blame him for not going Lucario in here. In a crew battle sense, not really the best character. Donkey Kong, however, pretty strong character where you can kind of, displace the Ice Climbers in a way that you can just edge guard them, go for a cargo throw. Able to save that jump to come back as well, but Diamond, his combo game has been extraordinary this crew battle.
It's been extraordinary at this crew battle. However, Aura Master, I definitely think he has the kill potential within a couple of moves, something that Diamond doesn't have. Diamond has to rely on combos and edge guards in order to get the majority of their kills. But Aura Master going to do as much as he possibly can to make up the damage for his team. However, finding himself in disadvantage, unfortunately. Finding some openings, but Diamond is opening the match even more to get as much damage as possible. Yeah. Oh, I would not envy 173%.
Now go for the giant punch, which sends Diamond to the left for some reason. Unable to punish that high Squall Hammer. Gets a punish of his own. Diamond taking another stock to his name. And the up tilt, beating out up smash from Aura Master. No jump. Able to come back on the stage. Aura Master struggling. Even though he has had center stage control, he just hasn't been making the most out of it. He's playing in the air a lot more than I think he would want to as Donkey Kong, who has a lot of range with his tilts.
Especially, who has a lot of rage with his tilts, but especially against a character like Ices, who have such good out of shield options. However, going to take his first stock on the board, Aura Master, not done quite yet. His shield was looking quite sparse there. A shield break would have been very unfortunate, but he's trying his best, getting sent back into disadvantage, but essentially trying to get back as much as he can, trying to take some damage, It's a valiant effort, but you know, it's a struggle.
Okay, getting the down tilt into the giant punch, and once again displacing the ice climbers. But when you focus on one, Diamond's going to be there to back up the other one. Gets the up B off the ledge. But right now, Diamond looking really keen. The up B, not what you want to go for. An amazing punish from Diamond.
Yeah, that hurt quite a bit.
Yeah.
Diamond doing so much right now. Aura Master trying his absolute best. Getting another stock. Yet another stock. I can't believe I'm saying this, but we've evened the stock percentage now.
Yeah.
Or the stock count is even. However, Diamond picking up some quick damage right now. Aura Master struggling to get in. Struggling to get some damage of his own. Trying to close out this game as best as he can.
Yeah, an amazing conversion right there from Diamond. Just getting the forward air into the up air. Almost killing right there, but Aura Master able to live. Maybe a second lease of life here. Able to hitbox extend with Nana. You might be dead here if you don't know a way to come back. Able to do so, but the forward air is so risky, yet so necessary to come back. But Diamond finally down to his last stock, but it took 3 people to do it.
Down to his last stock. But able to change the course of the game so much right there with the damage that he was able to do, sending Aura Master exactly where he wanted for a kill like that. Yeah. Absolutely incredible stuff. The way that he was able to absolutely set the pace of the game. Like, I think we've seen dominant players, but now we've seen Diamond. Now this is real.
Pressure makes diamonds indeed. And it seems like Diamond's not even in a lot of pressure right now. He has 9 stocks to his name, only 2 lost. On a stage like Hollow Bastion, where you would think a character like Donkey Kong would excel in because he can get Ding Dong very early on, Diamond was just doing a really good job of snuffing out any sort of approach that Aura Master had in mind or wanted to go for. Boshi going to be the next player for Montclair White.
All right, very exciting to see. We have seen an amazing win streak right now from Diamond, absolutely demolishing his opponents. However, it's going to be interesting to see an unseen matchup, for me at least, to see these 2 characters play against each other.
Yeah. All right. Just 5 stocks. I think we're down to 3 and 10, if I'm not mistaken. But I think that will be fixed very soon.
Momentarily.
Right. I wonder who Boshi goes here. Unless Boshi is Miku Miku Beam, because I know this shirt and I know this setup.
Oh,
okay.
Interesting. Okay, it's going to be... So, we've only seen Joker so far from Miku Miku Beam, but I wonder if they have another character that we're going to see in a matchup versus... Oh, no, it's going to be the Joker. All right.
So, like, so like hypothetically in the rules, you can't, if you go again in a crew battle, you can't pick the same character. But I think as an exception, this is fine. I think if they go up against Rutgers A or B, they're definitely going to
use that rule against Miku Miku Beam should they have to do so. But on Smashville, Miku Miku Beam has a second chance to redeem himself.
Second chance to redeem himself, I think, but also just some chance to prove that he can be the person to stop Diamond in his tracks right now. Diamond doesn't want that to happen, obviously, trying to make as much damage right now as he can. Miku Miku Beam, however, has some of his trademarkations that he is using in order to get back to stage, eating some damage, not going to take the stock though. However, getting Arsene, knowing that he can do some damage of his own now.
Yeah. And even with Arsene, it's just, it doesn't matter if you have Arsene if you're not able to get in. And Diamond's just doing such a good job at walling out all these approaches, walling out Miku Miku Beam, and knocking out that first stock in Montclair White's last player.
Montclair White's last player, but also taking Arsene offline. Arsene coming back. However, Diamond proving that he is so efficient, able to take this damage, able to take away the possible parts of the equation that are going to spell his loss.
Right. TV. Just getting confirmation from production on our side stream, which is Scarlet Smash TV. You guys tune into that at 3 o'clock. But right now, you guys are tuning into the dying embers of this last match and potentially Diamond's last stock. Get the double parry into the F smash, you madman!
No way!
Insane stuff from Diamond.
Diamond on a hot streak today. Really awesome stuff to see. Miku Miku Beam, however, holding his own, taking so much damage right now. Already got Diamond to 100%. We'll see if Miku Miku Beam is able to make up this stock. However, it is looking very good right now for Diamond, and unfortunately not great for Miku. I take it back. I take it back. Commentator's curse.
All right. Finally, Diamond going to be taking his leave off of that seat. For the next player coming in for Montclair Red, but Miku Miku Beam had to sacrifice 2 stocks in order to take Diamond's 1.
Yeah, I think really great stuff. I think Miku Miku Beam having the stock advantage, though, still losing 2 stocks to Diamond's 1 stock. So I think that just is a testament to the way that Diamond's been playing today. So aggressive, yet so patient, able to take as many stocks. MVP of today, hands down.
Definitely. Probably the most stocks that we're going to see taken by one person this entire event. But yeah, no, I mean, nobody really had a true answer to the way that Diamond was playing. So well conserved on that stage, going for these edge guards, going for these ledge traps as well. Blitz wall, and even those icicles were just doing a really good job at stopping any of his opponents from coming back. And that double parry into the F smash was insane by Diamond. But this is still not over yet for Montclair White, yet a very tall hill to climb.
Maybe. I mean, tall hill might seem insurmountable right now, but we need a hero right now to come in and save the day in order to take this damage back for the Montclair White team.
No. Oh, yeah,
No.
Diamond lost. Diamond lost his start. Yeah, so it's 1-9. It's 1-9. It's 1-9. Production
okay.
sleeping on the wheel.
Viewers, it's okay. We're changing. Shoutouts to production. We're changing the score right now to reflect Diamond's loss.
Yeah, so it's going to be 1-9 Omni Element coming in with his coveted Pyre and Mithra. Going up against the Joker, a tale as old as time, a character matchup that we have seen countless times, and maybe more today as well.
Maybe more today as well. However, this is going to be a matchup unlike one that we have seen before. I think a character like Miku Miku Beam versus Omni. All right, here they go, counting us off, getting started. And as we can see, Mithra coming out swinging, getting started with so much damage already, nearly 50%. However, Arsene online, though.
Yeah. It definitely does help Miku Miku Beam being at a deficit here because Arsene is able to charge up much quicker. Same thing could go for like Lucario Aura, but looks like Omni Element is doing a really good job. Almost taking the stock right there to be able to keep Miku Miku Beam away, and Arsene, completely irrelevant, gets the forwarder, and it's going to be a 9-0 in favor of Montclair Red. Amazing dominating performance from them, but let's see if they can carry that momentum going up against either Rutgers A or even B.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen such great stuff today from Montclair. It's going to be so interesting to see that compared with what we saw as well from Rutgers. I am quite excited to tell you the truth. It's going to be wonderful sets. We're going to have some close matches.
Yeah, as time goes on, we'll see how close they are. I mean, this definitely wasn't close, but Rutgers A&B definitely closer. Let's see what Montclair White has to do. Again, has a lot of time to prove themselves. They have 2 more crew battles to show what they are made of. Rutgers, of course, going to be in home turf, has some hometown pride to